Hey guys, Hrph here. Thanks for tuning in, checking out this video. I thought as we were kind of approaching our 100th video here, I wanted it to be just slightly different. So this is sort of a thank you to those that have discovered the channel, and sort of a brief explanation about, you know, who we are, what we do, for those that you know, continue to discover us. So with that, let me just get started. So I am an old guy. You may have heard this explained in a couple of my videos if you've watched any of the Minecraft stuff from a few months ago. But yeah, I'm kind of in my mid-50s, and you know, I've been playing video games ever since I was a kid, and sort of got the bug to maybe just try doing some videos. You know, I did some family videos, a little bit of production, you know, for some friends and family and things over the last few years. And, you know, I enjoyed the editing side of it and making the videos. And I said, hey, you know what? I play video games, so we could, you know, maybe throw some videos up that might help some folks out. So that was kind of the gist of it. So yeah, we gave it a start. So it started, I would say, the very end of August, or rather September of 2020. I think that was when I posted a handful of Minecraft videos. I'd been playing and recording for a while, and I decided we'll just start with a bang, and released, I don't know, like 15 or 16 or something like that, kind of just a start. And yeah, I kind of rolled from there. A friend of mine helped us out with some equipment so we could start to record Xbox, and you know, just kind of step beyond the PC here. So yeah, that's kind of how we got started. So that, you know, like I said, I've been playing video games since I was a kid in the 70s. You know, our first console was probably I would say the Sears version of the Atari Stunt Cycle. I'll try to find a picture of that and throw it up here, but if you've never seen it, it's essentially a small little console that had a couple of sort of, you know, BMX style handlebars, you know, and it was essentially a motorcycle jumping game. So back in the 70s, you know, I was like I said, I was, you know, a kid, and Evel Knievel was an icon at the time, you know, especially for me and my brother. You know, this guy jumped motorcycles at Caesar's Palace and all this. I mean, he was amazing. So, you know, we had to get our hands on a game like that. So I think, you know, like most things back then, my parents acquired things from Sears. So, you know, we got the Sears version, but actually had, as I recall, it had some wired controllers so that you could also play Pong. So we could jump motorcycles and then play Pong with it. And I think, you know, we played that for a while. Then it eventually graduated to the Atari 2600, and then the Atari 5200, and then, you know, probably a few years later, when I was a little older, I bought an NES on my own. And I even remember my dad, we were probably the first kids in the neighborhood to actually have a PC at the house. You know, this is back in probably the 80s, you know, mid-80s. And, you know, it was, we didn't even have a hard drive in the computer. It was two 5 1/4 floppies. So you would essentially boot up, you know, DOS on one floppy, and then you could insert a program, a game or something. I think I was playing some kind of an AD&D game even back then on a 5 1/4 floppy, and, you know, I was terrible at it, but it was, you know, had the bug since I was a kid. So, you know, when I got to be a little bit older and starting a family, and I had a little bit of, you know, discretionary income, I was collecting a lot of different home consoles. So I won't go through the list, but I had an entertainment center with, I think it was a 36-inch TV at the time, just a tube, you know, a square, like even before widescreen. And I think I had 13 or 14 consoles sort of daisy-chained off of, you know, AV switches and things like that. And that was right around the time when the original Xbox came out. So, That was, what, 2005? So, yeah, at that point, I had quite a few consoles, and then, you know, kids growing up and needing things, and all of that. I sold 99% of them over time. I think the only thing I have left is maybe a Genesis, and I have some old Atari stuff, but for the most part, it's gone in favor of, you know, the new Xboxes. Although we don't have the brand new Xbox, we have the Xbox Series X and a PS4, and we also have a Nintendo Switch and stuff. So we've got, you know, quite a bit. So the point of all that is that, you know, we're looking to expand a lot of the games that we've played here. So you can see the current series we have out. We started playing initially Minecraft on a Raspberry Pi. I had bought myself a Raspberry Pi 3B a while ago, maybe back in 2019, and I used that quite a bit, and then wheeled that off to my son when I bought a Raspberry Pi 4 when they came out. So I was running Minecraft on the 4, and it ran great for a while. Turned out we had some issues as the map got bigger and the files got bigger. File access on the Raspberry Pi became an issue. You know, it just... so we ended up... worked with a friend of mine, and we ended up getting a couple of... well, not a couple of things, but we worked through a couple of the issues, and we ended up buying an SSD drive for the Pi 4. And I migrated everything to the SSD drive, and boy, that made all the difference. So it really becomes... you know, usable once again. So my plan is to pick up the Minecraft series again at some point. Maybe get a friend or two or three in there and do some fun stuff like, you know, fighting the dragon and exploring the end and some of the things like that. Obviously have quite a few videos of Ark out right now, and, you know, my plan is to continue that through at least ascending off the island. We've touched on most of the maps. I was trying to concentrate on the free maps because not everybody has the DLCs. So, you know, my goal was to sort of play, and once we get through the island, maybe we can, and we ascend, maybe we can play around with some tech stuff for, you know, a few episodes, and, you know, maybe folks can tell me what they want to see when we reach that point, but we're a little bit away. Plus, there's lots of other games I want to get to. I had released one episode of 7 Days to Die, which I'm not sure anybody's even looked at, which is fine. I'm probably going to release about a 7-day version through that, just to play through one of the Horde nights, and then, you know, we'll see where that goes. I've also got a series out where I'm playing an old 1988-89 version of AD&D Pool of Radiance. I'm using DOSBox to play on that on my PC, so I kind of paused that when I started Ark. I would like to pick that up and sort of, you know, put a bow on that and finish it off. And then, you know, once we get to that point, we got a bunch of stuff upcoming that I'd like to get to. You know, I belong to Steam, and a friend of mine got me into the Epic's game site as well, so... Plus, I have the Xbox, and we have a whole ton of Raspberry Pi stuff. In fact, I'd like to take a second just to talk about the Pi. So I mentioned I willed the 3B to my son, and he has done a fantastic job of messing with that. You know, I initially played with a Retropie build on the Raspberry Pi. A Retropie is a collection of game emulators. Essentially console emulators and also arcade emulators. It uses MAME, which is probably the biggest and best, you know, PC, not PC, but arcade emulator out there. So he's done a fantastic job of really prettying that thing up. And I will throw some screenshots of that here. I mean, it's just gorgeous, and he's done a great job of collecting some of the ROMs and other things, and yeah, so hopefully we're going to explore that, kind of do a retro-themed game. He's also discovered a bunch of sort of user-created games. So games just created by the community and uploaded. You know, some of them are pretty crappy. Some of them are really well done. So we may get some of that going at some point. And, you know, I still have plans to do a series on Conan. Conan Exiles on the Xbox. I played that. I initially didn't like that when I started playing it. You know, I was like, it's not close enough to Ark, you know. But man, after I spent, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 days, you know, sort of getting in there and trying to get the hang of it. Boy, I really like that game. That's just really well done. It's a good story, so it's fun. You know, I'd like to. I don't know if we'll play it all the way through to the end, but I'd love to play it through, build up a character, you know, and get to some of the later game stuff. Also, have been recently enamored with Raft. Raft is a great game on Steam. It's fun to play. It's kind of relaxing. It's a little stressful. You got to run around, you know, and constantly feed yourself and get water, but it's, you know, fun. And then some other games I recently grabbed, like Subnautica and The Long Dark. I think we grabbed that one through Epic, and then Green Hell as well through Steam, and I don't know, Scrap Mechanic Survival and Stranded Deep, and you know, there's just a ton of games that I really would love to get through and at least, you know, put up a little series. The challenge we face is that I actually have a full-time job, so I cannot sit here and play video games. You know, I have a mortgage and a family to support and all that, so which is why I always say we in the videos, because, you know, the plan was always for me to do some, and for, you know, my kids. I have 5 adult children. My youngest, is 19, just turned 19. So they all play video games, you know, some more than others, but everybody has that bug to a degree. So we're, you know, the goal was always to have them throw in a few series. You know, maybe not talk or narrate through it like I do, but at least you know, throw it on there, and we can get the feel for some of their gameplay and what they can do. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're hoping to go. It's probably going to be this is January 2021, so we're probably looking at more like, you know, April or so of 2021 before I'll have a little bit of cash to you know, buy a little bit more equipment and sort of get us a little bit wider array of games going. But yeah, so it really is a hobby for us at this point. We don't have any illusions of, you know, being a gigantic channel or anything. But yeah, we are relatively new. We've only been around, you know, maybe 3 months, and we've got, you know, this being our 100th video that we threw out. I've gotten a few really good comments from folks, and you know, and some helpful comments too from me. And you know, I love learning stuff from you guys, and hopefully I can teach you guys a little bit of things, show you some stuff you didn't know. So yeah, anyway, that's about it. I just wanted to throw up a quick video to sort of you know, formally introduce the channel, and just kind of lay out, you know, sort of the history, why we do it, where we're going with it, and that kind of stuff. So I guess we'll see, you know, when we get to 200. If we get to 200, I wasn't even sure we'd get this far with it. So like I said, at this point it's just a hobby. But yeah, if you enjoy what we do, you know, spread the word. You know, we're growing very slowly, but yeah, that's great to see. You know, I'm enjoying it, and the fact that I've actually helped a couple of guys, you know, be able to tame things in Ark so far is really fun, and that's really all I ever wanted to get out of the channel. But yeah, I think that's it. As always, I appreciate everybody watching. And, you know, if you find yourself enjoying what we do, you know, subscribe. Check out some of our videos, some of our series. You know, like, comment, criticize, whatever you feel. I like all the feedback. So, yeah, that's it. As always, you know, I appreciate you guys watching, and I look forward to seeing everybody in some of our game series. Thanks again.